No, live on YouTube and also on Twitch in my personal channel. I'm George Karuaki from Brazil. So far, I have spoken with some Brazilian friends of mine that have been playing in Canada, in the West. This is the first real international interview. Thank you so much, Raheem, for accepting it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Raheem, well, I don't know if I told you how I managed to to get in contact with you, right?
No, not yet.
Yeah, because well, the idea is to build a stronger, different channel to talk about football slash soccer in the West and Canada. And in my Portuguese channel, in my native language, in Portuguese from Brazil, uh, I had a chance to talk to Coach Niva, which is the head coach for the Saint Kitts national team. And in Brazil, people were very impressed with the first results of the team in this CONCACAF qualifying. And while talking to him, he told me, no, the idea here is to strengthen uh, the platform, the players here locally, because in general, many Caribbean, many Central American national teams, they're used to sometimes only bringing people from Europe or other countries and make them their national roster. And in these first games, the team was very wise, playing in a very intelligent way against their opponents. And he said, "No, I was playing mostly with locals." And I thought, "Wow, this is impressive for the smallest country in the continent, right?" And while looking at the statistics and people and those who played and those who stood out, I saw your name and figured out, wow, this guy has an incredible career, not only professionally but prior to that. So I was very curious, Raheem, because you were born in St. Kitts. How did soccer started in your life?
Well, yes, I was born in St. Kitts, and then it's the national sport in St. Kitts. One of, I would say, three national sports, including cricket and track and field. And then I played soccer, football, I guess you would say, from the time I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. And then I also did track as well and play cricket. But football was just more passionate and more of a family thing for me. So it stuck with me. And then at age 13, I left St. Kitts and moved to the US with my mother. And we moved to Durham, North Carolina. And then that's basically where everything changed for me.
But this move, so it wasn't about football. You actually moved with your family, and as a consequence of opportunities have risen, right?
Yes, so I move, you would say, for a better lifestyle, more opportunities. And then it just so happened that, I landed in Durham and I was playing just like pick up, small sided with some friends and people around the area. And then I was seen by a coach from St. Vincent, whose name is Arande Ash. And he invited me to a training camp in what you would call the Bassa Academy, which is, I think, in every city or every state in the US. They usually use it for the top teams in that county. So I got invited to play just a friendly game with them. And after impressing, they thought that I would be good for me to try and get involved with the club.
And wow, and how, how how was adapting your style of playing from the St. Kitts to the West style of playing? Is it much different?
I would say being young at the time, it wasn't that much of a challenge
Hmm.
because, only playing in St. Kitts for, let me see, I guess you would say maybe 8 to 10 years probably. Um, changing and moving to the US, then it would be easier for me to adapt than, if I was there for almost maybe, let's say, 18 or 20. But so moving here at I was still young. I was able to adapt, and I would say that it was challenging because I had a lot of bad habits as a player. And, just playing playing in sync. It's no disrespect to anybody or anything. It's just even it's not the highest level. You don't get the highest training or anything. So once I got here and then I was invited to the team, it was a bit of a challenge, probably for the first, I would say, the first 6 to 8 months precisely, if I could remember. So
But this was the opportunity that ended up helping you to reach Appalachian State University, or were there any other steps during your journey until then?
so once I started playing club, I didn't know like the system in the US. Obviously coming from St. Kitts, so I didn't know the system in the US would be, you play club and then potentially you could go to college or go to the pros or whatever. So I didn't know that was the case. But then once I started playing club, I started hearing people speak about college, and then it's kind of clicked to me. And then one day the coach came to me and said, you know, there's some teams from college that's interested in you. And then I was like, I was lost. I was like, what do you mean college? I thought you just go to college to study and stuff. But um, once he started breaking it down to me, um, we spoke about it, and then he told me, like, this is the route that you could potentially take to advance into the professional levels. And then this coach was actually a different coach whose name is Dewan Bader. And I would say he's the one who is responsible for me here today. Obviously, God first and then him, because he was the one who told me, I would say at age 15 or 16, that one day I would be a professional. So for somebody to believe in you at that age and see something in you, then obviously it give me more confidence as a player. So
True, coming from someone else is different than your belief, or even sometimes your parents
yeah.
telling that, right? Or your grandmother, I don't know.
But I mean, for me, it was more so because he was also a professional player, and he played in U.S. youth national teams, and different. He traveled across the world as well. So for someone who been at some of the best leagues in the world, to tell me something like that, then I know, well, the possibilities are endless. So from the moment he told me that, I was just like, I kept believing and kept believing and saying, that one day then the dream of becoming a professional will become a reality. So
So basically, until you first arrived in the US and even the first months, football was just for fun for you, right?
yeah, I mean, in St. Kitts, we all have dreams of being professional, but the truth is, it's so difficult, because the level one, and two, we don't have I would say we don't have the right connections per se, or even if we do, we might not be able to get the direct push that we need. So um, for me, once I moved here, it was just for fun and just playing to play. So
Then when was the time that it clicked for you to realize that, okay, this could be something bigger for me? And as you mentioned, the, the coach, the former U.S. youth national team, they inspired you. But when was the time that you had actually the chance to play for at the college level, for example?
so the crazy story of that is one day I was watching ESPN, and I was talking to my stepdad, and I noticed that they had something saying the MLS draft, and I didn't know like the MLS had a draft or anything. So um, once I saw that, I asked him like, "What's this about the MLS draft?" And he explained to me like, you know, every sport, for most sports in college, have a direct draft or a direct correlation to the professional league. So once he told me that, I was like, well, I mean, since the coach already mentioned college to me, and I'm seeing that it's a chance from college to the MLS, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. So from then I start believing, and I just told myself like, this is it, and it will happen. So ever since that day, I always believe, and I just kept doing the work until I got there. So
Well, you make it sound simple, but almost no one managed to reach it, right?
right, I mean, I'm not, I'm not in the MLS. I haven't been in the MLS, but
Yet.
I've played against MLS players, and I've trained with MLS teams as well. So I know for me, it's not far from happening. It's just God's timing and everything. And even if it's not the MLS, for me, being in the USL League One for 2 years, I treat that as the MLS for me, because it's like, okay, I've been to possibly the highest level that I can so far in my career, coming from St. Kitts. So
You're only 23, yeah, right?
yes,
And considering the American system that you enter the market a bit older than maybe in other countries, right? It's something
yes,
so specific, but that means you're quite young. I've been
yeah,
I've been I've been talking to other Brazilian players that had some background in very strong teams in Brazil, Vasco da Gama, Atlético Paranaense, Corinthians. They're all in USL League One as well, and they're seen as the opportunity of their lives. So no matter where you come from, uh, you are the same level, the same point so far. And you mentioned you got dual citizenship, right? That
yeah,
makes a lot of difference. And you're a member of the national team for years, right?
yes. From 2017 or 2018, I was with the senior team. So yeah, and then I mean, even now, like I always said, like some of my closer friends and that I speak to, they know for me it's like, well, even now at age 23, I'm fortunate enough and highly blessed and thankful to be able to honor the team and wear the captain band at age 23. So, I mean, for some people in their career, they never get to represent the national team, much less even captain the team. So, and then as well, speaking on captain, being a professional for 2 years, I was also named captain at FC Tucson as well. So, I mean, at age 23, it's a blessing. Some people don't ever get to achieve that. So,
Yeah, that's what I told you at first, because I was very impressed because by comparing it with the reality of some Brazilian players that I've talked to many in the USL Championship and USL League One. When I saw you attended real good universities,
yeah.
not only academically but on soccer level. You attended the IMG Academy as well.
Yeah, I played there for 2 months.
Yeah,
It
was it for the USL League Two summer
Yes,
leagues?
yes,
But this is impressive because IMG is the reference for any sport, right?
yeah. So, like I said, I'm fortunate to have experiences like that. Also, I would say, being at IMG was probably one of the most interesting experiences for me. Reason why I would say that is I met some of the most interesting footballers and coaches at IMG. Also know, sorry, let's see how I can put this. Like I've met coaches that played with Pele, that played with Maradona. Um, I've seen firsthand videos and pictures of Pele and Maradona. Coaches that know people that's directly linked with Ronaldinho. Um, Coaches that been to World Cup and sat with like Spain, Holland, and also like just being around them, for me, coming from where I come from, it's we don't in St. Kitts, we don't most people would never ever get that opportunity. So
do you consider yourself a role model for the younger guys in St. Kitts to follow
Well,
your steps? Because maybe most people, even yourself, you wouldn't believe this should be possible, right?
no, I mean, and right now, I some days I'm lost for words, and some days, I'm never cocky. I don't speak on any of this stuff unless I'm close to you because you could lose it as soon as you gain it. But
Hmm.
the people that know me best knows like whenever I talk about these stuff, it's just like, okay, well, I've been there, so somebody else in the future may be able to potentially get this chance someday. And respects to coming from St. Kitts, respects to people like Atiba Harris, uh, Kim Collins, Jelani Archibald, Devon Elliott, Yellowman Isaac, Kayambo, just everybody that has been a part of journeying from St. Kitts and making it professionally. So I would say I always try to use them for inspiration, whether I know them personally or not, just to say that, they did it, you know, I'm capable of doing it as well. So, um, like I said, being a role model, I know a lot of people potentially looked up to me, some that I know about and some that I may not know about, but the ones that I do know about, whenever I speak to them, it's always love and respect. Just trying to tell them like, anything is possible, and even if like nobody else believe in you, make sure you believe in yourself. So definitely, I would say there are some people that look up to me, younger and older as well. So it's a bit of a sticky situation, if I'm being honest, because it's a small place. Think it is a small place, so you have to always be on your A game per se, but also you have to be true to yourself and be real with yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, but you said you're not cocky, but every time you manage to dream a little bigger, boom, you're there, right? So, what is the big dream so far at this point in your career, in your life? Because the national team had impressive results. Obviously, dreaming of the World Cup, it's complicated.
Mhm.
Being honest, but maybe you guys are going a couple of games closer to a bigger step historically for the national team. And you
Uh,
as a captain, in the FC Tucson, you had many appearances, which statistically is important in this game. You know that people do notice. What is your dream this year? Because okay, we're in April so far. I know the time passes by, it flies, but it could be a good year, right? It can be a good year.
yeah, I mean, well, at the moment I'm currently without a club, but that's it's a challenge, especially with COVID. Personally, I wouldn't get into details about this because I would say it's not my place to speak on it. But with COVID, it's a challenge, and I have been on trials with a few teams, and due to finances, I'm not able to sign. But the good thing about that is there's always building a connection and making a good impression for the next year to come. So for now, it's a challenge, but I wouldn't say it's like anything that completely defeats me or anything. Like I embrace it every day. Every success story has a, a page where there's something spectacular that happens that goes against what you think should happen. So I'm embracing the challenge right now of not having a team, but I'm training every day, still doing stuff, and then there's still a few things that could possibly happen. And the good thing about being in the US is at any given time you can sign a contract. So
Yeah, it's such a huge country, right? With so many leagues are starting.
yeah, at any given time you can sign a contract. So I'm steady training every day, and at the moment, you know, like I say, I can't speak person, like I can't speak too much about stuff, but for now, I would just say, there's always something that can happen. So you never know who's watching, and you never know when the opportunity will come. So right now, I just have to stay prepared for that. Um,
No,
but as far as the national team, I don't want to get ahead of myself and say anything, but I think this is the year that we will make it. Um, Not to be cocky, but just believing. And I feel like now that we had a good first run of games, so the next one will be important. But we missed out a few. We missed a few players from the first round, and hopefully this round they can all be there. Hopefully everybody can be healthy, and we can just get the next couple points, whatever it may take for us to just advance, to the next level. Whether we make it past the next level or not, but for me, I would say it's too much. It's not realistic to think about the past the next level yet. Right now, the goal is to stay healthy and everybody stay fit and just believe, and hopefully we can just push forward and make a great impression first, and then hopefully we can just push forward and go to the next round. So
now here in Brazil we'll be cheering because well we have a Brazilian coach there,
yeah.
but we also have a Brazilian coach in the Guyana as well. But
No, I was speaking to my agent yesterday, and he said the same thing. He said he know both coaches. Well, he said he know of Leo, but he knows the Guyana coach well. So he was just telling me, be prepared for a tough game. But I mean, it's football, you know, 11 players, one ball, two goals. So yeah,
sometimes only one chance it
only one.
changes everything. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited for it, honestly. I think this, for anybody from St. Kitts, I think this is the year that we could potentially do something special. So I'm believing. I know some other players are believing. So I know the coach is believing as well. So yeah,
Yeah, he was very confident on. He was a bit worried on coming in this project because he didn't have much time to prepare for it, and
right.
all the COVID situation made it much more complicated. But the roster, the team reacted so well with the idea. He told me about the reaction on the halftime of the first game.
Yeah,
They said, "Oh, this is a key game. We have to score many goals. If we have the chance, it could change everything." And it actually changes the whole perspective right now.
right.
So I think that the whole roster, the guys, they're really buying it, right? They're believing it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, most of the players believe at first, like going into the first one, but I would say after the first two games, I would say probably everybody know is completely, 100% sure that this could be something special. So once we believe, then everything else should follow after. So
Now, you may have in a couple of months really good news, historical moments for you, for your country, for your career,
yeah,
and I'll be following it. Please, my channel is open for a second chat, a third chat, because I think you have a real promising career, and I was really really impressed with your achievements so far. That's why I was telling, oh, him, talk to me. I don't know, you don't know me.
no,
I'm
thank you. I
the
mean,
crazy guy for Brazil, but this is a guy that, oh my God, this guy has potential, right?
yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I know once we connected from the first messages, I was a little bit worried about it potentially being like
Yeah.
a scam or fraud or something. Because I get a lot of those actually. People message me asking me to send them jerseys, do interviews, fake agents, all type of stuff. So it's like, well, but once you send me the links and stuff, then I noticed. Okay, and I played against Rafa and Lucas Coutinho as well. So I figured that it's probably not a scam or anything.
But I know this is not just the Brazilian reality, right? This weird contacts and and weird agents, let's say that, they are in every part of the world,
Right,
unfortunately.
right. And I've had I won't touch on this story, but I would mention I had a bad experience with a fake agent before. So yeah.
Well, like many other places, if you have the chance if you speak Portuguese, you'll see what happens in Brazil. This is
Hmm.
maybe the channel is then also an opportunity to put players in contact with others, and get to know the best contacts, the best realities, because in the end it brings real life to not television but to internet, because it's not just fame, it's not just the illusion of the whole success, but there's the good moments, the bad moments, and those in between as well, right?
Yes, yes.
No, thank you so much, Raheem, for in the end believing it.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
No, this is great. Thank you as well for everyone who's watching. I think this is the first time ever I speak to someone from St. Kitts, and to an audience from St. Kitts as well. And I'm really honored to have that chance. And this is the main idea of my channel, not only in English, but also in Spanish and Portuguese. I want to bring visibility to those players that they're not the Neymar, they're not Messi, they're not Cristiano Ronaldo, but they're chasing their dreams. They're managing to reach excellent results, but not many people know it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the platform and I appreciate you reaching out. So best of luck to you as well. And hopefully, in the maybe we speak another time. Hopefully it's a different convo. About success. So thank you for
No,
everything.
no, I thank you. I look forward for our next chat in the US, in St. Kitts, or anywhere else. You surely you're invited. And well, have a great weekend in the US.
Thank you. You too. Have a good weekend.
Bye bye.
All right.